A squad is trying to rescue men from a sunken submarine. Jonas saves many, but something beyond the structure attacks everyone. When he sees the walls falling apart, he rushes the survivors to the rescue ship but discovers that 2 of his men are stuck inside. Jonas tries to help, but the creature keeps damaging their ship, forcing him to leave his soldiers and save everyone else. They flee as the submarine implodes underwater, triggering a massive explosion that they narrowly escape. 5 years later in Shanghai, a helicopter flies into the ocean and lands at Mana 1, a research center. Station director Zhang welcomes Morris from the helicopter. Zhang introduces his daughter Cyan, the research team's lead biologist, as they enter the facility. After entering the laboratories, Morris is astonished by the immense ocean and its gorgeous creatures, as most of the facility is underwater. Zhang presents everyone involved in their current operation and discloses that Morris sponsored it all. They believe the tunnels are deeper than they imagined and are heading to the Mariana Trenches. Zhang believes that a layer of hydrogen sulfide covers the true ocean floor, hiding a new world. Captain Laurie's team arrives at the bottom of the ocean, and as planned, the submarine can proceed through the clouds and deeper into the trenches. They soon break through the barrier and reach the ocean floor, where they are surprised to find a bizarre environment. Zhang argues that the barrier raises the area's temperature above the ocean above, making life possible. However, the radar shows a massive object fast approaching the squad. The beast slams into the submarine, shaking it fiercely and knocking off the cameras. Mac, the group's boss, advises hiring Jonas, his close buddy, as no one has ever rescued this deep. Dr. Heller strongly opposes the proposal, telling the squad that Jonas left his soldiers behind on the previous mission, but Mac reminds everyone that they would have all died otherwise. They travel to Thailand, where Jonas has been abusing alcohol since the last mission. Mac tries to persuade him to help rescue their friends, but he refuses. When he realizes his ex-wife Laurie is in the submarine, he agrees to one last mission. At the same moment, the individuals trapped in the water reconnect their power system and turn on the lights. But the beast attacks their ship again, seriously wounding their captain and damaging their oxygen tank. From the opposite side, Cyan notices that her teammates are running out of time and chooses to start the rescue by herself. She hugs her kid and pledges to return before boarding the submarine to rescue her friends. Cyan goes further and breaks the trench barrier. She stealthily moves to find her companions on the ocean floor. She uses her hooks to capture the damaged ship, but something behind her knocks her ship around like a toy. After recovering from the ambush, gigantic tentacles wrap the ship and squeeze it from all sides, revealing that the beast is a massive octopus. As the capsule is being destroyed, the creature shockingly lets go and fills the entire area with ink, and Cyan realizes that a more hazardous species has taken the squid's life. The woman is astonished to identify the shark as a megalodon, an extinct species. The shark instantly turns back towards the woman and charges in with dizzying speed to demolish her vessel. Before crashing, the megalodon turns towards the distant lights. Jonas arrives at the rescue mission to lure the creature away from the victims and allow Cyan to escape since her ship is damaged. Jonas docks on the stranded ship and rescues everyone as the shark is distracted by the flares. Before the rescue is accomplished, the gigantic beast circles back to finish the job. The last teammate pulls the others out and closes the hatch before launching the rescue vessel, realizing they don't have time. The man puts on all the lights and lures the beast towards him, sacrificing himself to save the others. The squad returns to the surface and warns their companion. Despite not saving the scientist, the main character feels guilty. After the hot steaming shower, Jonas opens the door to see Cyan dashing into his room. After seeing the man's physique, she loses the ability to think. Before leaving, Cyan peeks behind the door. Morris wants to profit off the megalodon, but the group discusses their next steps. While the people argue, Cyan's daughter explores the lower floors, unaware that a gigantic shark is approaching her from behind. The beast bites the glass and shakes the building, sending people running downstairs to see a car-sized bite mark. The beast attacks the whale in front of them and bites it in two like butter, confirming their greatest nightmare. The Meg has somehow made it over the barrier, so the people think their exit from the trenches must have allowed it to escape its home environment. Before they can decide what to do, warning signals come on their computers, suggesting that many ships have gone down, likely victims of the creature's onslaught. The folks promptly head out into the ocean and arrive to find only boat parts. They must put a tracker on the shark's dorsal fin to stop it before it does more harm, but they don't have time to prepare for the catch. Jonas volunteers to swim near the creature to tag the tracker to avoid being destroyed like the other boats. But after swimming in, he realizes his plan is stupid. The Meg ignores the man, allowing Jonas to tag the tracker. However, as they try to pull the man in, they make a mistake that makes the creature uncivilized, forcing Jonas to swim away. The boat turns on and saves their companion, but Meg persistently pursues him. Jonas barely escapes the beast and boards the boat, his life still flashing before him. After attaching the tracker, the crew prepares to lower a shark cage with Cyan inside into the ocean and use baits to attract the megalodon to her so they can tranquilize it. Soon, many sharks encircle the woman in the container, but they flee as something big approaches. The gigantic beast suddenly attacks the cage from underneath and throws the container like a toy. The monster attacks the cage and drags the cable across the sea, pulling the boat away. Cyan injects the tranquilizer into the shark, but the Meg continues to swallow the cage. Jonas runs into the sea and grabs the wire to climb to his companion after realizing the woman is in danger. Jonas saves his comrade as the shark pulls on the lines and knocks one of the crew members into the ocean. The megalodon charges the new target and smashes into the boat, but the woman escapes. Jonas attempts to free his companion, but realizes that her oxygen is leaking rapidly, leading her to lose consciousness. The man opens the gate from the other side and takes the unconscious girl from the cage as it lowers swiftly. The boat's crew uses cables and baits to lure the monster to the blood and hook it to the wires. Jonas tries to resurface, but the megalodon's wires block it from devouring the divers. The tranquilizer knocks out the big beast in time, allowing the victims to barely escape. After returning to the ship, the crew attempts to revive the woman, allowing Jonas to French kiss her. The woman regains consciousness and thanks Jonas for rescuing her again, realizing she owes him some aggressive snuggling. They step onto the ship's deck and are amazed by the size of this ancient beast hanging on the boat. Jonas pranks his friend by pushing him into the sea to take a picture of him with the enormous monster. A huge megalodon comes out of the ocean and grabs the smaller fish with its jaws, landing on the boat and flipping it sideways, dumping everyone into the sea. Jonas rescues Cyan's father by carrying him back to the floating structures, but he's badly injured. They find the lifeboats that were dumped into the ocean and flee this deadly place. The Meg, attracted by the boat's motions, chases the people and closes in swiftly. Morris summons his mercenaries, who arrive in time to save the people. The megalodon flees when the troops attach a tracking device on its dorsal fin and fire into the water. The people flee, but Cyan's father dies in front of her, making her cry. Morris announces that he's closing the research site until Meg is dead after returning to headquarters. He tells the populace that he has instructed the governments to address this matter since he is unwilling to risk any additional casualties. He lies as he flies towards the enormous shark with his guys to kill it alone to avoid legal issues. The people head out to the beast and drop many bombs into the water, causing tremendous explosions in the ocean that eventually float a giant body to the surface. The people in the boat approach the creature, thinking they have killed the Meg, only to witness many sharks feeding on a big whale. The mercenaries flee so rapidly that they drop Morris into the ocean, giving the megalodon a perfect meal. The next morning, the squad realizes Morris never notified anybody about the enormous sharks, so they must find it before it does more damage. They follow the megalodon into the ocean and discover that it is heading towards a crowded beach. They call the authorities but are ignored, forcing the group to take matters into their own hands by utilizing whale noises and arming their ships to lure the shark away. On the other hand, thousands of people swim along the beach like dumplings, ready to be eaten by the gigantic creature. The gigantic monster rushes out and devours everything in sight, forcing everyone to panic and flee. The beast surges forward, preying on people, but alters course when it hears the whale's noise from far away. While Jonas and Cyan are waiting for Meg on their ship at the same time, the animal shows up suddenly and starts savagely attacking them. Jonas avoids death by luring the shark away from the boat and going through the trenches. The man gives the monster to the lady, who fires her weapon at the adversary but misses and causes a tremendous explosion. The news media helicopters fly towards the ship to investigate the explosion. However, the pilots are surprised to see the big undersea creature, distracting them and leading them to crash into one another. The people feel forced to dive into the water to escape the explosion, but doing so puts them in danger of being eaten by the megalodon. Meanwhile, Cyan draws the monster towards Jonas for the shot, but the mechanism malfunctions at the worst possible time, nearly costing him his life as he narrowly avoids the onslaught. Cyan rescues the people in the water, including her kid, leaving Jonas to battle the Meg alone. The mother finds her daughter and saves the people from the sea, but Jonas runs out of alternatives and gambles all on a final attack. He speeds towards the shark and maneuvers under it, cutting the shark's belly and spraying blood. The Meg bites the man's ship and punctures the capsule, flooding it with water. Jonas must evacuate from the vessel while the creature chews on the metal, allowing him to approach the monster's head and stab its eye. Jonas kills the megalodon as it leaps from the ocean. Meg's blood attracts a mob of sharks that tear the gigantic creature apart. Cyan grabs the man before he becomes a meal and pulls him away. After being rescued by locals, the crew celebrates slaying the creature and avenging their companion. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our channel to get notified whenever we publish the next recap. Till then, take care. See you next time.